everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the In Between the Stitches podcast. I am your host, Brady Wilson, of course, with my co-host, Chase Olschwanger.
I'm back.
Who's back in studio today. It's funny, we can't get on a good schedule because next week I'll be out, and I don't know if you'll be here.
I don't know my schedule.
So we'll have to see next week. But this is this week. And, well, we've had a lot to talk about with sports. We will get to the Stars and the Mavs suing each other, college coaches getting fired, a bunch of crap happening in sports this week. And then obviously the World Series. I want to make sure that we cover that because it is thankfully going game 6 or 7. We'll see which one it ends up being. Sorry, I can't. The kids have ruined the words 6 and 7 forever and ever. I can't say it without hearing like some of my buddies laugh. Like it's just I'm not doing it intentionally. Anyway, point is, we got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about the Stars here. Obviously, kicking it off. They are on a 3-game win streak, I believe, and I think a 4-game point streak.
Yeah, because the overtime loss.
They lost in overtime to the Kings. No, it's a 3-game win streak. They beat Carolina at home, beat Nashville. Both those were tight games, and then they come in. They play Washington at home. Ovi doesn't get his 900th goal. And then you win that one. You've won 3 straight. You've won 3 straight, each by a goal. So tight games, but you're also without Matt Duchene, Oscar Beck, and Rope Hintz right now. I believe Nils Lundqvist is also out. I think he's on LTIR right now. So you are down a lot of players right now. And you're weathering the storm.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for the Stars is that you are weathering this storm of injuries. And then obviously big news, they re-signed Thomas Hartley. They extended Thomas Hartley, who's going to be celebrating with a DiGiorno pizza. And I agree with Sean Shapiro of the DLS podcast for the Stars that bad journalistic work not asking him what pizza he would be eating. I think that's important to know about somebody's what pizza they eat. Is it thin crust, thick crust, pepperoni? Is it hamburgers? Is it meat lovers? What kind of pizza are we going with?
I'm a hand toss type of guy. So
see, I think my favorite was probably the Chicago when I was in Chicago and had Chicago style deep dish.
See, I don't like deep dish.
But see, I liked it because it was a lot.
That's right.
It was. I don't like thin crust. I like a little more dough. Anyway, back to the Stars. They've got the Lightning tonight in Tampa Bay to close out the month. So no matter what, they will be finishing the month above 500, which is really nice.
Just need to have, good 3 games, then didn't have a good 3 games, and now had another good 3 games.
Yeah.
Need to continue with the good 3 games and not go back to
bad 3 games.
Bad 3 games.
They got Florida on Saturday in Florida, so they're just going to stay in the state. They come back, and we've got those dastardly Oilers coming down from Edmonton at home on Tuesday, then Thursday again, Anaheim, and then next Saturday, Nashville. Been watching a lot more of the hockey podcast, and they're talking about the reason the schedule feels a little bit more condensed is because of the Olympics in the winter.
Yeah.
And that, a lot of these guys will be doing that, and so they're trying to get in as many games as possible before they go off the Olympics. And we've seen a lot of injuries, and I think that's kind of because there's just a lot of attrition right now in hockey. But back to Thomas Hartley, 8 years, I think $10.457 something million. Good for Thomas. He's been a great defenseman. He's a guy that could potentially even score 20 goals as a defenseman. He's going to have a lot of points because, I always say that the patented Thomas Hartley goal is a blue line wrister that gets tipped in by somebody else.
Yep.
That's kind of how he scores a lot of his goals. And so you have your pairing with him and Miro for the next few years, at least until Miro's contract runs out, which looks like a steal right now. He's making like $8 million and like some change. So that's a steal. And
you said Hartley's is 10 a year?
Yeah, it's 10 a year.
Okay.
But I think that in 3 years, the way the hockey contracts are going right now, we're seeing a big boom. And kind of how I hear a lot of the more hockey people that have been around hockey for the last, couple decades maybe, this seems to be a more unnatural type boom for their contracts, meaning that I think that $10 million this offseason, some defenseman's probably going to surpass it. And then the next year, somebody else, and we're going to go, wow, Thomas Hartley's only making $10 million? That's a steal. Same thing with Miro. Miro was it was $8 million at the time. It was like 8 years. And I think like whatever it was.
It's nice when you have an ownership that pays early.
That's GM.
GM.
We'll get to Jim Nill in a second.
No, just
But
it's nice that somebody, you actually take care of your players before the game starts
It's almost
or
like,
season starts.
and I know this may be controversial for some people in the Metroplex to hear, but there seems to be an advantage when you pay your players early before the market can catch up or before the market can really explode. And then when somebody, 'cause I think he got less money than Bouchard. And I would probably rather have Thomas Harley than Evan Bouchard. Harley's a better defenseman.
Is he younger?
Yeah, I think Bouchard's probably late 20s, probably mid-late 20s. I don't know. Point is, it's gonna look like a great contract in a few years, and then we'll have him for a lot more after that. And the important part is that Jim Nill has the core locked up. Obviously, you don't have Robertson locked up, but you have Wyatt Johnson locked up. And this is I think the next contract of like the core that runs out is Miro, and that's through the 28-29 season. Okay, here's all the guys that are locked up past that: Rope Hintz, Mikko Rantanen, Jake Ottinger, Wyatt Johnston. Now you got Thomas Harley, Rope Hintz. There's somebody Matt Duchene is locked up for 3 more years. Like, you've got this core of players that are locked up for a long time, and you're going to be competitive into the next decade because of it. And it's only 2025, and I'm saying you're going to be a competitive hockey team going into 2030 because of the guys that you have, which is exciting to know that you have. We're not all in this year, right? We're just trying to build a team that can potentially win it in the next few years or this year, whatever, right? You have a really big window, and you got to give the credit to that to Jim Nill, the best GM in DFW. I would say it used to be a close second. Now I'd say it's a firm second is Chris Young.
It used to be tied with 3 of them.
Then I won't even rank the other 2 because I think they're unrankable. That's how bad I think they are. So you got 2 great ones, and you got 2 ones. On a scale of 1 to about 100, they're ones.
Generous.
Should I go in the negatives?
I think so.
But anyway, Stars, hopefully they keep this up. They can just, again, I keep saying it, keep weathering the storm through these injuries until you get these guys back. And then, of course, Tyler Seguin does play in his 1,000th game, so congrats to him. We'll go to the Mavs, and then we'll circle back to this whole lawsuit thing because it involves both of them. So the Mavs they won. They squeaked out a win last night.
Scary.
An embarrassing loss to the Wizards. This has just been a very flatline start to the Mavs season, I think, Chase. Especially considering we were, NBA, we were chanting for the finals at the start of the year, and then this opening start happens, and it's very deflating.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you're relying on an 18-year-old to do a lot of what you need to do to be successful.
Of what you had Luka doing.
Exactly. But, I mean, look, 2-3 on the first, you had 5-game homestand. 2-3 is not really ideal. You'd like to go at least 3-2, be at least over 500. But obviously, like, I saw some good things and I saw some bad things, but I also saw some things where I'm like, okay, this will be okay once Kyrie is back.
Right.
That's another thing you got to remember. Our other superstar is not here right now. He is almost back, recovering from injury. And your team completely shifts in a positive direction once he's back. Right now, you got guys just kind of keep you afloat, and that's what they're doing. I mean, you want to stay around 500 until you get him back. That's kind of what your goal is. And you're putting guys in positions where they're not comfortable with because of it. Flag, for example, has never played point guard in his career, and he's been the starting point guard for the first 5 games of the season. And he's gotten better every game, and you just got to remember. And he's been great, by the way. You watch him, and it's like, wow, this guy's he's got all the intangibles that he need to become a superstar, to be a superstar. So it's fun watching him right now, and it's just have to thank the basketball gods, every day for keeping this franchise alive. Because without the number 1 pick this year, and this year only. I don't care if you give us the number 1 pick the next 10 years. It would not have been the same impact that flag is. So this franchise is still alive because of it, and we have to be thankful for that. But it's an interesting start to the season. Some players are playing down, some players are playing up, but some people are also playing out of position, like I said, where It's just players playing uncomfortable and trying to become comfortable, and they're staying afloat. So we'll see how they are. Going on the road now for the first time this season. And they come right back home actually. So the first like 7 out of 8 games or whatever are going to be at home. But we will see how they go. I mean, again, and AD just had a little soreness last night, wasn't able to return, but said that if he needed to, he could have. Kid decided to do it, not to play him as a precaution.
I bet.
But they still got the win. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Knowing that AD is okay, it's just some soreness, nothing really to be.
So what would you, injury-wise, what would you classify him as?
What?
Like, is he out, questionable?
No, he's day to Davis.
He's day to Davis.
Yeah.
He's day to day.
I don't know if I expect him to play tomorrow, but I don't expect him to miss 1 game max with it, just depending on the severity of the injury. But again, they said it was just a soreness precaution, so you hope that he's on the floor tomorrow night.
And I know like D'Angelo Russell has been just a huge flop.
No, he's
so far. I've seen numbers where it's like this is like it was like I don't know. It was like 4-1-1. Like what's that? His stat line or something? It was something like.
But he also had 24 points and 22 points to a game. So like that is what again you're putting a guy into a role that he wasn't supposed to, that he was kind of thrown into as that starting guard or that first guard off the bench because Kyrie's not here. When Kyrie's here, he doesn't have that stress on his plate where he's, needs to play 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
He's a great he's a great 6th man.
He's a good backup point guard. He's a good backup point guard to have, and that's what he will eventually be. But D'Lo, his entire career has been inconsistent. He's been an all-star a few times, but he's also been just, the reason your team loses some games sometimes. And that was obviously a big thing, a big reason in LA. Well, he cost Lakers a few games, but in Brooklyn, he was an all-star. And Golden State, he was an all-star, I think, for 1 year.
Now, is there any truth to the Kyrie coming back in like late November?
Yeah, well, there has been.
Still alive?
Yeah,
or?
Was it here when we talked about it?
Yeah, it was I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was shocking to hear that they were talking about a late November return because we all thought it'd be after New Year's or after the All-Star break in early February. But no, I mean, he's working out. He's practicing with the team. He seems way above schedule when it comes to recovery, which is, it's awesome. But you also want to, have that in the back of your head, like, don't rush him because you want to make sure he's 100% before coming back from an ACL injury.
Right.
But look, whenever he says he's ready and the training staff, they clear him, yeah, put him out there. Yeah. And that could very well be in the next month, which would be awesome.
It would be very shocking. But with the Mavs, I mean, it's just, and we'll get to the suing thing here in a second, because I think it just kind of creates more bad feelings towards the owners, and I don't want to let that cloud my judgment. But I'm not watching the games. After the suing, and I'll explain my logic here. I don't have to explain it, but what did something happen?
No, it was just,
okay. You shot me.
Right now I have my phone out because notifications.
Yeah,
with the trade deadline a week away.
If you've watched the show, you know that it's a very common thing for me to look over and Chase shoots me a look like, bro, something just happened. But I'm not gonna give the organization any money. I'm not gonna go to any Mavs games. I'm hesitant to go to any Stars games because of I don't want the Mavs owners to get the money that I'm paying for the Stars tickets because of the arena stuff. Still gonna go to a few Stars games, but I refuse to give the Mavs directly any money. I'm not gonna pay for Mavs TV. I'm not gonna pay for any jerseys. I'm not gonna pay for any memorabilia, any merchandise, anything. I refuse to put into this organization when it continues to take away from the fans of DFW. Now we'll get to the suing.
Well, actually, one more positive.
Because I haven't watched the game, so I'm forced to kind of rely on you and kind of look at box scores. I'm a college student. I don't exactly have, how much is for Mavs TV?
$125.
I don't exactly have $125 just laying around to, no offense to you, but waste on something I'm probably not going to watch.
It's fine. It's completely valid.
So continue with what.
No, but on a positive note, actually, with the Mavs, and Dumont, one of the only good things he's done. They actually are retiring Mark Aguirre's number. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
That is awesome, and it's way overdue. My dad was so happy because that was my dad's favorite player growing up. And Mark Aguirre was such a great player, one of the best players in Mavericks history. And his number should have been retired years and years ago. But there was Cuban never did it. So I'm glad that Dumont actually is making a good decision and something that is, making fans a little happier with him because this is way overdue. And it'll be January 29th of 2026 when they're hosting the ceremony.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he kind of leave on like some bad terms where he kind of like
He
trashed
was
the organization?
A little immaturely, you could say, to put it lightly. But that doesn't take away from what he did for the team and the player that he was for this team for many, many years. And towards the end of his career with the Mavs, you can't look at that you can't define that as his Maverick career.
Right.
You have to look at all the good things that he did, and that he's still around, today, involved with the Mavs.
But yeah, I saw he did like a thing at the arena where like he answered questions and like because the reason I knew about it was I saw some people that were like media people that were like, why are they highlighting him because he left on such bad terms? He trashed the organization. We shouldn't be celebrating him.
No, I mean, don't listen to those people.
Okay.
Aguirre deserves to have his number retired, and it was concerning, at least to my dad, because when Kobe passed away, almost 6 years ago now, which is crazy, Cuban said that nobody's going to wear 24 for Kobe, and that's a nice gesture. And Kobe's my favorite player of all time. I love Kobe, even as a Master. Kobe's my favorite player ever.
Traitor.
But he wasn't a Mav. And you can't retire as nice of a gesture as it is. And of course, everyone will always respect Kobe for what he did for the NBA and what he did just as a basketball player on and off the court.
Well, I think my dad's watching, and my dad has a fun anecdote. I think we were at Legoland, and in California, and he was doing like a basketball shoot thing.
Pop shot?
Yeah. And the guy was like, "Man, you're like Kobe." He was sinking him. And I was like, "You're like Kobe Bryant." He went, "Hell no, I'm Dirk Nowitzki. Screw Kobe Bryant."
No, of course, obviously Dirk is one of my favorite players of all time as well.
No, I know you're a Kobe guy.
But Kobe's just, look, Kobe's always been my guy. But you don't want to retire someone's jersey who never played a second for your franchise, and especially when Aguirre wore 24, it was like, well, if they're retiring Kobe's number before Aguirre, that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it feels weird.
But it's a good thing that Dumont came out. He met with Aguirre, and Blackman was in the room with him. Someone else was with him as well. I forget who it was.
Who's the one that works for us?
Huh?
Who's the one that works for us?
Was Finley there with him?
Finley, probably.
But I don't think it was Finley. It might have been. But Finley never
was-
played with him. It was Rowe, Aguirre, and someone else who played with him, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But I forget who it was. But anyway, they were all together, and Dumont comes in and says, welcome to the Mavs, to the rafters. You're retired. You're one of the greatest players ever to play for the Mavericks. Your number's going to be retired in the arena forever.
You think they'll retire 77?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they 100% should. Will they? I don't know. Should they? Of course.
Well,
Of course. And we'll see if 77 ever comes back to play here one day. I hope so.
we got to get to the suing thing, though.
Yeah, but look,
Now it's time to get to more
outside of the
Savage.
Mavs, going back to the Mavs, solid start to the year. No need to worry about anything right now. See how they keep playing throughout the year.
Reports have broken that, and I want to make sure I get everything right because I've tried to read. I feel so terrible because I honestly just I fear I'm going to butcher her last name, Brad Townsend, and I really do not want to butcher her name. It's the woman that covers the Stars for the Dallas Morning News. I believe it's Lisa, and it starts with an A, and it's like.
I'm not going to be any help on this one.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to find because I think I can sound it out. When I see it, but the point is they released an article saying that the Dallas Mavericks are suing and the city of Dallas. This is important, and the city of here it is. It's Lisa. It looks like Asimakopoulos. I hope I pronounced that correctly. That the city of Dallas and the Mavericks are suing the Stars for breach of contract, and that the Mavs are like withholding some of like the Stars like tens of millions of dollars in escrow from them, and they're saying that basically what it sounds like happened is the Mavs were able to dig up some dirt on the Stars, and it turns out in their like lease contract, it says that the Stars have to have their office buildings in the Dallas city limits. The Stars have their offices in Irving, which, while it's in the Metroplex, that's not Dallas, right? You would say, if you're from Irving, you might even say, I'm from Irving, Dallas, right, that area, but it's not the city limits. Mark Cuban never cared because Mark Cuban was a good owner. And Mark Cuban understood that we share this building, we share this lease, like we're, whatever, we coexist with the Stars. Even though we're looking for a way to get out, blah, 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 right? But now what the Mavs are doing is saying, oh, they've breached their lease, or they've breached this agreement that we made. And that's breach of contract, and they're suing them for that. So legally, I don't know if they have a case or not. I'm not a legal person, but it sounds like to me they might have like some kind of legal case, but morally, should they be doing this? Probably not, especially for like the fan base. Because immediately we hear the Mavs suing the Stars. We're going to side with the Stars because screw the Mavs, screw Dumont, screw his mother-in-law, I think is who that is. Screw them all. I don't care. Go back to Vegas. Leave us alone here in Dallas.
Yes.
But it also sounds like the Mavs are kind of screwing the Stars because like the lease runs through 2031, I believe.
Yes.
And after that, the Stars and the Mavs have both expressed interest in leaving the AAC.
I don't know if you heard, but the Stars are looking to come to Plano.
About to get to that.
Which is like where they're looking is like right next to me.
Yeah, the Mavs are looking at staying in Dallas. It's not like the
I thought they were
Mavs
looking in Irving.
are wanting to like stay, but see that they've agreed to get the countersuit. Another thing that they've apparently done is that the city and the Mavs believed for some reason that the Stars had entered into an agreement with the other two that they would stay in the AAC through like 2061. And the Stars are like, we never agreed to that. And the city and the Mavs are saying, well, yeah, you did. And the Stars are saying, no, we didn't. So you have he said, she said, I'm rubber, you're glue is kind of where we're at right now. But it sounds like that we know the Stars are looking at this kind of, to me, signals the Stars are definitely leaving Dallas because the city's now suing them. So the Stars are probably, I think, it feels like it's down to two cities, and that's Irving, and that's not Irving, it's Plano and Frisco. Because they want, like, kind of what the Rangers have, that entertainment district that they can own and get money from. It'd be something that's kind of year-round. They can get revenue. And the Mavs are looking at for something. Obviously, the Mavs want, like, $1 billion boondoggle casino resort, rich people, yay. Like, I mean, that's kind of what the Mavs are looking for. And the Stars have been promised something big, I think, from Plano or Frisco. One of the two cities has, like, promised them, like, $1 billion stadium funding, something, like, insane. But, like, if Plano or Frisco, like, if I'm Plano, Frisco has the Rough Riders at least. They have a sports team that.
And FC Dallas.
And FC Dallas. If I'm Plano, I've got to get the Stars. Because then now that attracts people to my city.
You can, but let me get home to my house with no traffic. That'd be nice as well.
Yeah, but driving 10 minutes to the Stars games would be kind of nice too.
That'd be pretty cool.
Hell, you might be able to walk depending on where it is.
Yeah.
No, don't have to pay for parking.
Or just be a super cheap Uber, which would be even better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Point is, it sounds like the Mavs in the city are suing the Stars for multiple things. The Stars are now countersuing the Mavs. And I don't think anything bad's going to come out of this. Like, I don't think the Stars are going to be forced to, like, move or anything. The worst thing that I think might happen is that the Stars lose a lot of money, which could really financially hurt the team. Now, thankfully, our owner, I can't remember his name. That's a good thing, though. I don't know who owns the Stars. I don't know. I don't want to know.
That's a good thing. You should let your GM run the team. That's something.
I don't want to know who owns the Stars. I'm good at knowing. And apparently, whoever it is like a billionaire. So he's cool with money. It's just a matter of hopefully they can get this all sorted out. It's been a big story. It's a lot of legalese that a lot of us mortals wouldn't understand. So we will continue to monitor, as we always say. We will continue to monitor the situation for updates, and we will, when big ones happen, we will come on here and talk about it. But now we're going to move to the Rangers. Chase has informed me that he has insider information about the Rangers' offseason plans, that we're in on Kyle Schwarber, we're in on trade for Paul Skeens, 1-for-1 for Evan Carter.
Kyle Tucker as well.
Yeah, we're in on all these guys, so Chase, take it away.
No, I was just telling him before our show, I was with Jared Stanley over last weekend. And just he's good friends with my cousin. I was with him for half an hour. And just talking with him over a couple of things, just on how this season went, how the players reacted to the season, how the players reacted to Boch and his departure.
And Skip Schumacher, obviously.
Yeah, and Jared told me that, talking to a lot of the players, Seager, he told me to talk to Seager, and he was like, he was telling me he was very appreciative of what Boch did and what Boch did for the not just the city but for the team. But he's also ready and excited for a new start. He knew it was time, and he's excited to see where this team goes in the next few years. Jared didn't tell me, go into too much detail, but he thinks that from what he's talked with and heard with from CY, is that he thinks that this roster is going to look completely different next year. And I didn't ask him if that was, letting players go because they don't want to pay, or as if they're going to make a splash for someone and that makes the team look entirely different. He didn't say that. But
no, he did. He's just lying to you.
Look, if I had to guess, I just think a lot of guys are not going to return who were here last year just because they're not good anymore. That's what I have to guess. But we'll see. He's a very nice guy. We had cool. It's nice to talk about, sports with. We didn't just talk about the Rangers. Talk about all the sports. It's nice to talk with someone who
knows ball.
Literally works for the team.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
And just to see his insight, because he knows more than I do. Obviously, he's around it every day.
He's there. He's in the building.
He's talking with the players. He's talking with the coaching staff. I mean, he is in the loop with a lot of things, and it was nice for him to
get the mood of the ball club.
Yeah, and he was just saying that look, the going back to Boch, the players were obviously upset, but they're ready for a new chapter with Schumacher, and then he thinks that the roster is going to look completely different. So we'll see what that means.
But for the Rangers. No news.
There's no news, yeah.
No news, but we do have World Series news. I will call my dad here. He will give us his expert insight.
All right.
On the World Series. But Blue Jays are up 3-2, which I don't think a lot of people saw
One more
coming.
win and no lockout.
And you know what? I've actually moved off my stance. As Bill Parcells said, I reserve the right to change my mind. I have reserved the right to change my mind on the Dodgers ruining baseball. The Dodgers are merely like a symptom of the problem. I think I may have said this to you last week.
I know where you're going with this.
Money and causes the Dodgers to spend money because they will, and then it makes everything look bad.
Yeah.
So screw the cheap owners. They need to spend money on their ball club. The sport needs a salary floor.
Yes.
And a salary cap. It needs both, because you have to keep the Dodgers in check. Because the Dodgers are spending more than the Brewers are bringing in. That's not fair. The Brewers could spend every dollar their franchise makes, and they still couldn't match the Dodgers. Think about that for a second, in payroll. So it can't just be the cheap teams, right? The Dodgers just have more money. You need a salary cap. The players will never go for it. And that's what I'm worried about. So I'm actually blaming this on the players now, because they need to understand what the sport needs versus themselves. I'm sorry, quit being selfish. The sport, the future of the sport, the fans, it needs a salary cap. You're the last one that doesn't have one. You need one desperately. And that's where I've moved. I used to be very anti-salary cap. Now I'm very pro. I think that's what the sport needs. But the Dodgers are losing the series, which makes me happy, because I don't want to see repeat champions. I like new champions. And we just haven't won, 30 years, so that's pretty cool. Game 1 ended up being a Blue Jays, because we haven't talked about any of the games.
Yeah.
Ended up being a Blue Jays drubbing. And then Game 2, Dodgers, Yamamoto's just been on fire. And then Game 3.
Oh, you mean Game 3 and 4?
And 5. Yeah, Game 3 was a marathon. I called I had a buddy come to my room. I was like, bro, it's the night. I got home from work. I was watching most of the game. Bro, it's the 9th inning. Come to my room and we'll see the end of it. It's tied. Cool. 9th inning, 10th inning, 11th, 12th, 13th. Finally, he said, bro, I gotta go to sleep. Okay. Call my dad. We talked till the 17th, thinking, oh yeah, it'll be a quick conversation. No, it ended up being 4 innings.
Little did you know that there was an entire game left to play.
Yeah.
Another game.
Will Klein ended up being a postseason hero. The Blue Jay, I mean, Yamamoto was up and throwing. He was about to go in and pitch.
Which is insane.
And Dave Roberts said that the emergency pitcher would have been Miguel Rojas.
Yeah.
So,
Which would have been the first time ever a position player pitched in the World Series.
would have been the first time ever, yes. And so it would have been a very interesting, because it would have been a very interesting scenario.
So I want to get your take on this.
Okay.
Because I brought it up because not that I liked this kind of game, but I want to hear your opinion on it.
Okay.
Do you think that Ghost Runner should be a thing in the postseason?
No.
Because of something that could happen like this?
This is legendary. Sure. Do I want to see the Rockies versus the White Sox going 17 innings? Hell no. Not in the regular season. Because then you're just going to destroy a team's bullpen for like a week, right? Almost. But for the postseason, no. That was a legendary moment.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, by the way. I was just wanting to know your opinion.
Just like we talk about 2018 Game 3 and like how great that game was, right? Max Muncy, Evaldi, all of that. That doesn't happen with the Ghost Runner.
Yeah.
Right? The postseason, you got to earn it. I still believe you got to earn it in the postseason. But like we'll be talking about 2025 Game 3, right? For years.
Yeah.
Telling our kids, oh, yeah, your dad sat through an 18-inning two. I've seen two 18-inning World Series games, both. There's only ever been two of them in the 100-and-something year history of the World Series.
The Dodgers involved in both.
Since 1903, and they both happened at Dodger Stadium, both with Brad Paisley singing the national anthem, by the way.
That's a crazy fact. I saw someone on Twitter, typically I don't look at these kind of facts because they're stupid 99.9% of the time.
That one's funny.
But this one is insane. He's done 4 national anthems and all have gone to like at least the 13th or 14th inning.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
But the marathon game till Freddie Freeman just got one that he was able to drive out of the ballpark. And as my dad will probably come on and tell us, driving the ball out of the park at night in Dodger Stadium is very difficult, especially when it gets cold.
Especially playing 2 full games.
Especially when it gets cold.
Having 9 at-bats each player.
But the Blue Jays responded in Game 4. Shane Bieber outdueled Shohei Ohtani. Vlad is just amazing. They won 6-2.
Worth the contract.
And then last night, Trey Savage was kind of the story. Goes, 6 innings? 7
12
innings?
strikeouts, most ever by a rookie
Yeah.
in the World Series.
Broke Smokey Joe Woods' 100-year-old record. It's insane. The last pitcher, in fact, they said the last pitcher to throw that many strikeouts in a World Series game was El Duque, Orlando Hernandez. And the last one to do it to win was Bob Gibson in 68.
Good company Savage is now a part of.
We got Game 6, immortal words for Rangers fans, that will be on Friday. It'll be Yamamoto versus Kevin Gausman. Great matchup. And then Game 7 should be Scherzer versus Glasnow.
Sorry.
And Game 7 will be on the greatest day in the history of the world, November 1st. You get the reference.
What?
November 1st.
Oh, yeah, one Rangers won.
So,
well, you know what, though? I don't know if Scherzer pitches in Game 7.
why?
I think he goes Savage again.
No, no. I think he may go to him in the bullpen.
I mean, maybe 2-3 innings from Scherzer. I think Ohtani pitches in that game again.
We'll see.
I mean, Game 7 World Series, like you say, there's no restrictions. You pitch your guys.
But here's the thing about the World Series. Here's my prediction. Blue Jays win in 7. I think Yamamoto right now is untouchable. They're not touching him. I get it wrong, but he is just mowed down everyone in this postseason. And I think he does it again. I think Gausman turns in a great performance.
Gausman's been great, too.
I think it's like a 3-1 game, right? Something like that. But I think Game 7, the Blue Jays hold the line. I think they start Max Scherzer. I think Scherzer goes 5 or 6, shuts down the Dodgers, calms the nerves. He's not one of those guys that obviously he's not a calm guy, but he's not one of those guys that's going to let the Game 7 moment get too big. It's the thing about Savage I'm worried about. You're pitching a rookie in Game 7. I'm thinking like a manager would. I'd rather have a guy that's pitched in 3 other World Series, that's pitched in a Game 7 of the ALCS, a Game 7 of the World Series. That's what I'm focused on that. I think this goes 7. But we are now going to talk to what?
I'm scrolling Twitter. I see some guy who's going to the game tomorrow, but 86,000 Canadian dollars to go to the game, which I don't know what that is American. I just see that on my timeline.
We're now going to talk to baseball expert I love that we have this feature.
It's great.
We are
I don't
now.
know if Scherzer
We are now
pitches
on
against
the.
them.
Dad, your TV is like really loud.
I just muted it.
Thank you. We are now on the phone with baseball expert, my father, Wes Wilson. Dad, I know that you missed yesterday. I missed a lot of yesterday's game just because working and trying to do being on my phone for work, and then also trying to have the game on. But like, what's your prediction for the rest of the series?
Well, first, did you see the little stat I sent you in your messenger?
You sent me a lot of stats. Let me see. Vladimir
Treya Savage made just over $57,000 this year because he got called up and made 3 starts. And the
Wow.
Dodgers lineup last night made $148 million. So
Wow, that's insane.
there's a nice little factoid for you,
And
So
then I see this.
talking about the Dodgers spending money and everything, they had a rookie that made what most people in America make now, dominated him last night.
He sent me this. Vlad Guerrero Jr. career home runs off of Shohei Ohtani, 2. Shohei Ohtani career home runs off of Vlad Guerrero Jr., 0. Really makes you think who's better. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm concerned, right? Yeah, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
concerned.
But I mean, come on. Yamamoto he's mowed down everyone in the postseason. No one has been able to touch him.
Yeah, if he can go another complete game, who's the last person to throw 3 complete games? Was it Chrissy Matheson in 05? Probably. I'm talking 1905.
3 complete games in like a single postseason.
Yeah, do we have to go back that far to find that?
I'm looking it up right now. If you have a question, go ahead.
Maybe
and ask us.
maybe Gibson may have done it though. I don't know. But anyway, you're asking about my thoughts on the series. I knew it was going to be a hard fought series. I was hoping it wasn't going to be. Everyone was saying, "Oh, Dodgers in 5, Dodgers in." Oh, I think they're having their eyes open now because I think the Blue Jays are just. They're the kind of team I like. They can hit the long ball, but they just seem to be able to string together base hit, base hit, base hit. And that's, old school kind of baseball. They seem to be real good at the small ball. They're really good defensively. And I knew it was going to be a hard fought series. And so far, it's really proven to be. It's been a great series, I think, so far.
Yeah, I mean, Brady and I talked about it last week, saying that the plan for the Blue Jays to win this series is that they're going to have the bats wake up, and that's exactly what they've done. Now, obviously, there's been games where the Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers and going to shut you out and going to hit and going to out hit you, but for the most part, being a 3-2 series, the Blue Jays have done their job. They've pitched well. The starting pitching has been good. The bullpen pitching's been good. The bats have been good, and that's what it's going to take to beat this team. And I think they're doing exactly what we, said that they needed to do.
No starting pitcher has ever thrown the last pitcher to throw 3 complete games. Actually, so it sounds like Bob Gibson threw 3 complete games in the 68 series.
I was going to say maybe it was Gibson, yeah, because, okay.
That's
so
insane.
that sounds right.
But anyway, yeah, that probably would have been a lot of people's guesses. But the Blue Jays really, and like you said, and Smoltz actually, and I think Smoltz has actually been really good in this series. I think he's done a great job of analyzing. I don't think he's been very.
I've actually seen more criticism towards Joe Davis because
Really?
he's a Dodgers broadcaster. So some people are saying a lot of bias when it comes to Dodgers getting a home run and the Blue Jays getting a home run.
I don't hear the bias. I do hear, obviously, that he has more knowledge about the Dodgers team. Like, he's more prone to, this guy has been great for the Dodgers. He's more prone to talk about a Dodgers guy over a Blue Jays guy because he's a Dodgers guy. No one will ever be Vin Scully, Dad, where Vin Scully was the ultimate neutral announcer.
Right.
But with Joe Davis, I have heard him, no one's highlighting the fact that Eric Lauer pitched more innings than Will Klein did in that game. But the story from Joe Davis was, how about Will Klein? No one else did this in this game. I'm like, Eric Lauer pitched more innings. He was throwing 96 in his first and was throwing 92.
Well, look, he would have gotten the praise if the Blue Jays won that game.
I know that, but it was just that he's setting a narrative that only the Dodgers guy was a superhero in that game. No, the Blue Jays had multiple superheroes. It was just that Dodgers won.
Yeah.
So I've heard a little.
Yeah, and when you and I were talking, and we were sitting here going, man, Lauer looks like he's completely out of gas, but he gutted it out, man. You know.
He came in throwing like 95, 96,
Yeah.
and then he ended it throwing like 92. Like he
Yeah.
was losing velocity every inning. No, but this, I think that, obviously World Series are better when it goes 6 or 7. I think everyone can agree there.
Yes.
Last year's
Yeah.
World Series was kind of boring when it was 5 games, and the only actually good one was Game 1. After that, it was just a Dodgers stomping.
Our
pretty
game
much.
and our 5-game series was good for us because we won.
Well, it was good, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of like 23 only going 5. That was nice.
yeah,
so.
that one was kind of nice to only go 5. But as a neutral
fan, yes, I agree with you.
I want this to
Yes.
go 7, and I actually think if it goes 7, that favors the Blue Jays, because the Blue Jays have to deal. I really felt that the Blue Jays really had to win 2 in LA because I knew they were facing Yamamoto again,
Right.
and I just knew that he's on it right now. And then Gosman's a great pitcher. I love Kevin Gosman, and
Yes.
I think he's gonna have a great night tomorrow. But it's just Yamamoto's pitching on a different level right now. And I was talking with.
And my question is Yamamoto going to be gassed? Because, I don't know. He may not be. I don't know.
Well,
but
they said that he volunteered to Dave Roberts that he volunteered himself to go into the bullpen that game.
Oh, who was I talking
he
to?
was warming up. He was going to be the next guy in.
Yeah,
probably.
2 days after throwing a complete game, which is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
But he volunteered himself to go in the pen. So I mean,
was
it sounds like he's ready to go.
During this last week, I was talking to somebody, and I'm blanking on who I was talking to right now, but that was telling me that like the Japanese pitchers, they in their league there is none of this load management crap. It's
Right.
you go out there and pitch till your arm falls off. It's you do
Right.
whatever is necessary for your team to win, and that's just kind of part of the way they play over there versus over here. Whereas an American guy might be, I don't really, my arm's tired now, coach. And then, but the Yamamoto is gonna be, no, I'm going in. Like I don't care. I don't care if I get hurt. Like I just don't care. I'm
Yeah.
going to. It doesn't matter if I get hurt. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to leave it all out there to win a World Series. Like Bo Bichette, like they're highlighting Bo Bichette because he's probably playing injured.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's playing in a contract year, but he's trying to win a World Series. He knows that his legacy, I'm sure his dad told him, son, I was stuck on the Rockies most of my career. Please, or all my career. I don't know. Was Bichette a career Rocky? Dante?
He started off with the Brewers,
Okay, so he
and
really
then he
did
went
get
to
a World
the
Series.
Rockies, and then he wound up with the Angels, I believe.
So he never won a World Series ever.
No, he never sniffed.
Never
it,
sniffed
no.
one.
Never
yeah.
even sniffed one. So it's like I'm guarantee you he's told his son, you go out there and you play to your ribs fall out of your body. I don't care.
Yeah, because this might be Bichette's only shot. Who knows? So.
I would hope Toronto would give him another
And
contract.
same thing with Vladdy. You don't think his dad has told him? I think you were telling me this. You don't think his dad told him, "Hey, son, if you want to make $500 million, if you want to win a World Series, you got to get your butt in gear." And he has.
Yeah, because
in a big way.
I'm sorry, he was a little fat, and now this year he looks like a beast, man. He's really impressed me. I mean, you can really tell his quickness around the bases. I mean, as far as fielding and running, and he scored from first on that hit the other night. He wouldn't have done that last year or year before. There's no way. He's just turned into a beast, man. He's really earned it.
He's turned into that team captain. He's kind of it reminds me of like when Bryce Harper first got to Philly, and there were the concerns about him, and he just kind of took over the leadership role. But Vladdy, he's been great. I think that the Blue Jays have done a great job of keeping the Dodgers' bats in check. Mookie's cold.
Yeah.
Mookie's he's scuffling right now. Freddie, by the way, Dad, I was looking at numbers. If Freddie, he's 36.
Yeah.
If he plays 4 more years, there is a real chance he gets 3,000 hits. Even if he plays 3 more years, he would have to find because he's at 24, like 36 or something like that.
That's
So if
that's
it's a lot, but the last 2 seasons he's averaged 170 hits. So if he had that pace for 3 years, he would be like just a few hits short, and I think he'd come back just to get it. So I mean, you've talked about could a modern player get 3,000? Freddie's gonna get close, and knowing Freddie, he might try to go for it.
Yeah, I thought Altuve might get close too, but I don't know. He's kind of breaking down, and Freeman's still going strong. So,
He's still
but I
going
think
strong.
he'll be he's a Hall of Famer at 2,500
Oh
probably.
yeah, no,
He's a Hall of Famer no matter
and he'll
what.
get
Yeah.
2,500 next year.
But-
He's a Hall of Famer right now.
but-
If he retired tomorrow, he's a Hall of Famer. But
Yeah.
with Freddie, he has a real shot at 3,000, which is
He does. He really
which
does.
is really
yeah.
cool for like a modern player. He'll be the first.
How many
true-
how many home runs do we say he's on pace for? Probably, you think?
he'll get to 400. And the thing
Yeah.
is he's not one of those power hitting first basemen. He hits homers, but he's not like
Yes.
he's not Pete Alonso, right?
He's 25 homers a year.
Let me look.
So-
He's at 367 home runs right now, and he hit 24 this year. So, I mean, his contract runs. He signed through 2027, so he's got 2 more years that he's playing. Right? So he'll get to
Yeah.
400 home runs. His batting average is. How about this, Dad? For a modern player, his batting average is 300 for his career.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Is there any more milestones he's close to? He's not really. He's already got 1,000 walks. Career OBP 386, which is ridiculous. So it's really going to come down to this year he had 164 hits. Last year he had 153 hits. And the year before that he had 211 hits. 2023. But 2023 was arguably his best year as a player.
Yes.
When he had 59 doubles, he hit 29 home runs. Like he went ape. It's gonna come down to can he stay healthy enough to get 170, 180 hits a year, 170 hits a year, and for 3 years, and then come back for a 4th year, and it'll be a chip shot for him. And does he want to play? That's the big one. Is he gonna want to play when his contract runs out? He'll be 38. Will he want to keep playing? And he's already got 2 rings, maybe a 3rd this year. You never know. Maybe more with the Dodgers. An MVP, a Gold Glove, a World Series. Like he's done everything he needs to. It's just does he want the milestone?
Yeah.
I can't believe he's only got 1 MVP and 1 Gold Glove. 1 Gold Glove to me is insane. He ought to have several more.
Who was winning Gold Gloves in the National League at first base? And he won
I'd have to look, but
and ironically, he won MVP in 2020.
yeah, which they're going to go 2020. I don't care. He had insane numbers that year too.
He came in 3rd in 2023. His arguably the year he probably should have won it may have been 2018. He came in 4th, and that was his Gold Glove year.
Yeah.
When he hit 309 with 23 homers, 44 doubles, 191 hits, led the league. He's never gotten 200 hits in a year. His closest was 2022, 199.
Oof.
1 hit away, led the league.
Yeah.
He's got 547 career doubles, by the way.
Right. That's he's going to get 600 doubles. That's amazing.
That's ridiculous. But
At
anyway,
least.
Nathaniel
Yeah.
Lowe has more.
what?
I feel like Nathaniel Lowe only hit doubles with us.
That's true. Doubles and the occasional homer.
Yeah.
But Dad, thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you want to say about the World Series before we let you go?
Not really. I'm hoping. I'm really like you. I'm hoping it goes 7-7. But I don't know if Yamamoto's not gassed tomorrow night. Then the Blue Jays are going to win. But we'll see. I do hope it goes 7. But we'll see.
See. Well, thank you, Dad. Appreciate you coming on, and we always love having you on.
Hey, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks
Have a
a
good
lot.
one, Mr. Wilson.
I disconnect my phone from that. My music starts playing. It's copyrighted. No. That's your baseball update. We've kind of talked about that. We're gonna move to football now. An embarrassing loss to the Broncos. Your run defense is trash. Your defense is injured plus bad plus scheme, and everything is just bad. Your offense. It was the first game Dak didn't play well. Which what I hate there is that's not Dak's fault. I mean, is it Dak's fault that the defense gave up 44 freaking points?
Yeah, I was telling my dad, like, even if he played perfect, he still has to put up 50 to win that game.
Yeah, so it's
I
just
mean,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're gonna move. I don't want to talk about the Cowboys. It's trade deadline. I don't want to trade for anybody right now. I really don't.
unless it's Myles Garrett or
Controllable maybe. If you
Brian
If
Burns.
you want to trade for someone controllable, sure. No rentals. No Jalen Phillips. No.
What about Bradley Chubb?
Is he controllable?
Let me look at his current year because I've seen a lot of talk about Bradley Chubb.
I want somebody that we're going to have for the future when we get a new coordinator in here. Week 9, Chase, you got me on the Thursday Night Football game because I'm an idiot and I took the.
And I just can't believe you let me convince me to take the Cowboys against a team we haven't beaten in 30 years with the worst defense in the history of football. I mean,
here we go. Ravens at Dolphins tonight, Thursday Night Football.
Welcome back, Lamar. Give me Baltimore.
I agree. Broncos at Texans. There's no way you pick against them, right?
Texans.
Really?
Surtain's out for 6 weeks.
I'm still picking the Broncos.
Okay.
Colts at Steelers.
Colts.
I'm taking the Steelers.
Nice.
I think they played well against the Packers. I think they continue that at home. Bears at Bengals. What, Flacco's hurt, remember?
I know that. Is there another caveat that I'm going to be using this week? I don't think so. I'm going to say give me... You know what? Give me the Bears anyway.
Okay.
Give me the Bears. Who are you going with?
Bears.
Okay.
Vikings at Lions.
Lions.
Panthers at Packers.
Packers. And also, it looks like Bradley Chubb is under contract till 2027. He's making 1.2 this year, 19 next year, and 18.4 next year. The year
So
after.
I'd be fine with Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up a first-round pick. I'd give up like a 4th.
Yeah.
Falcons at Patriots.
Patriots.
I wanted to have Seth on here to come talk Pats, but he couldn't be bothered to join us today. 49ers at Giants.
Niners.
Yep. Agree. Giants are just lost. Scatterboo, man. It sucks. Sucks to see a guy like that get
It's
hurt.
awful. It's awful.
Chargers at Titans.
Chargers.
Saints at Rams.
Rams.
Jaguars at Raiders.
Jags.
If I disagree with him, I will tell you. Chiefs at Bills.
Chiefs.
Taking the Bills.
Okay.
So we have a third disagreement there. So yeah, I got a chance to come back this week. Seahawks at Commanders.
Seahawks.
I agree. And then Cardinals at Cowboys.
Cowboys. Only because it's at home. If it was in Arizona, I'm taking the Cardinals.
And we have 4 disagreements. I'm taking the Cardinals. I'm not taking the Cowboys. Kyler's in. Kyler's playing.
Yeah, Kyler's never lost at AT&T. You're right.
You want to switch it? I'll give you one time a chance to switch it.
No, I'll stay with the Cowboys.
Okay. I'm taking our defense is trash.
It is awful. And
We still don't have Rebel. We don't have Overshown.
it's awful.
I will say this: there's been one bright spot on the defense. Donovan Azaraku.
Yeah,
has
Azaraku
been-
looks his pass rush rate is so high.
I think I may have hit there, and if I hit on Revel too, and there you go. You found some impact players. Can we just keep them? Can we maintain that and add some new ones, please? There was talk that the Jets asking price or something might be for Jermaine Johnston. They'd ask a 3 or a 4, and then for Quentin Williams they were asking a 2.
I do that.
And I'm I would give them a 1 for both. Here's a 1 and a 4 for both those guys. I'd do that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I'd do that for both those guys. And here's what I would do. Fire Eberflus in the offseason. If we trade for a Jeffrey Simmons or
Are you
Quentin
officially
Williams,
just you're blaming Eberflus now?
get rid of him. Not sole blame. You got to put a lot of blame on Jerry because he's constructed this defense. But you also got to blame them for picking a coordinator that doesn't work with the scheme. Doesn't work with the personnel he has.
Yeah.
Flu's with the right person. I'm a firm believer that a defensive coach, if you gave a defensive coach the perfect personnel for his scheme, a lot of good defensive coaches could be great coaches. It's just you've got to have the right players. Some coaches, it's regardless of players. Belichick could always have great defenses even with maybe subpar talent. Flus needs his personnel to run his scheme. He needs corners that can play zone, good instincts, that aren't confused about what they're doing. Flus has got a good scheme. It's just he doesn't have the players to run that scheme, and it looks terrible. So let him go somewhere else. Here's what I would do. Here's my few steps to fix the Cowboys defense. Number 1, get a new defensive coordinator in here. Trade for a new defensive tackle. Trade for Quentin Williams, Jeffrey Simmons, somebody. I'm going to hire a 3-4 base coordinator. Who would that be? My dream scenario is Brian Flores. Who I think the Cowboys are going to hire? Al Harris.
Awesome. I didn't want him to leave in the first place. I told you last year I wanted to promote him to defensive coordinator, and I don't know if it was you or someone else said that he's not ready for that yet.
I said that's how the Cowboys feel, that he's not ready for that yet.
I wanted him to be our DC.
I want to hire a defensive coordinator that's a 3-4 guy. I want to switch to a 3-4. We're going to have Kenny Clark as the nose, Osa, and the new defensive tackle as your defensive end, defensive tackles next to, Kenny. As your 3-down guys. They're a little more wide, right? And then we're going to play Ezraku.
And hopefully someone we trade for here.
Ezraku. James Houston can play that outside linebacker. And we're going to play Ezraku like outside linebacker, basically. That's what I would do. We're going to move Osa and the other defensive tackle to basically defensive end, essentially, in the 3-4. And we're going to, so that's what I'm going to do. New coordinator that fits a 3-4, because we're going to move to a 3-4. We're going to hire, and then also likes man coverage, because we have man coverage guys like Bland. Kalen Carson's a man guy. I'm going to jettison some of the veteran talent. Donovan Wilson, gone. Malik Hooker, gone. Free up some of that cap space, right? Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray. I'll keep Shamar James because he's young. I'll keep Marshawn Nealon because he's young. Sam Williams, gone. Solomon Thomas, I'm going to retain. I would love to bring back Clowney, and I'd love to bring back James Houston, obviously. And then we're going to do, let's say that I trade my first-round pick. So let's say I trade a 1 and like a 4. Let's say we did that for Quinnen Williams. I'm throwing his name in there. Okay. We traded the Packers 1 this year. I'm gonna use my 1 to trade back, recoup my 3rd-round pick, draft the best defensive player on the board. 2nd round, I'm gonna draft the best defensive player on the board. 3rd round, I'm gonna either draft the best defensive player on the board, or I might look at running back or offensive tackle. And I think if you can, and I'm re-signing Pickens, obviously. If you can keep this offense intact for next year, you can have a top 5 offense next year. The goal is going to be, can you get a defense that's just the 15th ranked defense? I don't need a top 10 defense. I need a top 20 defense.
The Cowboys have a top 20 defense this year. They're 6-2. I mean,
we just need a defense that can get some stops. That's not Swiss cheese. Okay? That's what we need. That's my plan to fix the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Coordinator that fits the personnel. Heavy, either using my draft picks to get veteran defensive talent or college defensive talent. There's your step. There's your plan. I think you have Bland. I think Revel. Diggs, I love you. Bye. Bye. You're gone. You can give him, and it's not because I'm mad at him. It's a fresh start. He needs a fresh start. We need a fresh start. That's what I'm doing. So that's my not quick, but that's my 1 offseason plan. We can get this. I can get this defense to top 20. Keep the offense at top 5. We ride.
Sounds great.
That's my plan. All right.
Pickens, though, and Aubrey. Pickens and Aubrey.
Thank y'all for watching this week. Next week, it'll either be Chase and me calling in from a boat somewhere in the Gulf. Hopefully I can call in. If not, there will be no episode next week. There'll either be an episode and it appears or it doesn't. That's just the way it's going to go. Going on vacation, so we will see you guys either I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Chase might see you next week, and I may talk to y'all next week.